Hey, it's not 100%, but I would say 90's pretty decent. Am I right? We making moves out here? Making moves. All right, so we've got quite a bit of important stuff to get straight away into here in this episode today. You guys know in the recent Brawl News episodes, it's kind of been this slow build up to the eventual Brawl talk that's coming out on the 25th. And ever so often, we've been getting sprinkles of fun little juicy content as to what might be coming in that next update. And today, we're about to get into some more speculation. But before we get into that, quickly, some of the more current events happening right now that have gotten a lot of conversation going on inside the community. As you guys should know by now, yesterday Ziggy was released with his early access event. I don't think anything crazy came out of this animation in terms of like spoilers or Easter eggs. I think the only thing that I've been hearing from the community is like people speculating that that might be a Spike skin sometime in the future, but I think it's just Spike doing Spike things. But speaking of the early access Ziggy event going on right now, there's two particular things that people have been talking about quite a lot here with it. The very first thing that people have been a little bit questioning about is the timing in which Ziggy is going to be released on the Star Road compared to the early access special event going on right now. Once the early access event ends in 8 days and 15 hours at the point that I'm recording this video, I believe we have to wait an additional 9 days for him to be released on the Star Road. Yeah, down here we have 17 days and 15 hours. So it adds like a little bit of this like strange window that some people are calling it like a window where people are going to be losing their credits, right, to fame. But I think it's kind of important, at least myself, that like not everyone is like completely maxed out, right? But for those of you who are maxed out and are going for the newest brawlers every single time, it is going to be a window that you got to be careful of if you don't want to waste your credits. But then moving along to the other thing that got people kind of raising their eyebrows, and I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet. Again, trying to be positive. You got positive Ray in the house, okay? We ain't being negative for negative's sake, okay? But people notice that there is a early access offer in the shop for Ziggy. So it's kind of this strange dichotomy. I will say though, the intention behind this, yeah, it feels weird that like they're bringing back early access offer to a degree, but with the offer itself, it's not going to be costing as much as it used to. Basically, I believe Frank ended up saying that they wanted to add this as an element and then remove a lot of the fluff that we got before with early access offers. Ziggy is a mythic brawler, and I believe those deals were like close to like 30 bucks, 35 bucks, 40, something like that. So they cut out all the fluff and it's $15.99. $14.99, 15 bucks. Now, I'd love to hear your guys' perspective. I think it's a fun little meet in the middle type thing here, where if you do want to get Ziggy early and not opening it from gems, you can do so, but we can still have that free-to-play element with chance, right? Going through the event and trying to get Ziggy for free for the free-to-play players. But I've been hearing some opinions much like this from Raven one day ago. We're removing early access. Ziggy is here with an offer in the store. At least now you can get the brawler cheaper than 900 gems for 14 boxes. Free-to-play can get him in one game, but weird they decided to add the offer back. Kind of how I was thinking. It was like we took a pause. We were told that early access offer and like the rework would be completely like different, and like it's the new system, it's here to stay, but they kind of like added it back again. So all those people who want to get Ziggy just straight up and don't want to mess with the early access event or anything like that, you just go to the store and get it. So there's no point to the event, right? It is cheaper, but I got a feeling a lot of people are just going to go to the Supercell store and get him, right? I think that's just kind of what makes sense. Still kind of interesting. I think the dev team is just testing things out, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. What are you thinking? And before we move along from the topic of Ziggy, I thought I'd throw this out there. I believe Ziggy, or people have been talking about Ziggy getting a tweak before he was released, balance changes. He ended up getting a damage increase. His reload speed was increased, or unload speed was increased. And then his star power ended up getting a nerf. But overall, I've been hearing through the grapevine that people view it as a pretty good buff to Ziggy, feeling a bit better with these changes. And just for the craps and giggles, I just want to get one box, guys. Let's see if we can get lucky and get Ziggy. I will just buy him off screen like through the offer, right? It just makes sense if that's kind of the player that I am. But I thought, hey, if we can get lucky, get him one box, I wouldn't complain. But moving along here, as I said at the beginning of the video, we've been talking a lot here recently of the fun Easter eggs, the build up to this update, the Brawl Talk coming out on the 25th. But one avenue that's been picking up a lot in conversation throughout the community that I completely forgot about was the roadmap. If you guys weren't aware, we have used the roadmap on several occasions this entire year to reference new changes or additional things coming in the updates that were to come. But the 2025 roadmap is actually coming to an end at this final one, so it brings a few different interesting developments. Number one, I wanted to mention, though I've kind of lost a little bit of faith, and not faith, I'm just saying the accuracy of the roadmap, seeing that we are at the very end of the predictions that were once made at the beginning of 2025, you can see how it can get a little bit like not as accurate as time goes on, right? It's hard to predict a whole year in advance. But this update, the Brawl Stars dev team wanted to have planned a huge mapmaker overhaul. We can't say 100% certain that this is going to happen, maybe some smaller changes to mapmaker in this update, but I'm gonna be honest, I remember when the roadmap first came out and I heard that mapmaker changes could be coming in the year of 2025 in this October update, I was like, over the moon. I've said this so many times, if mapmaker gets a great tweak, I think it will really change Brawl Stars' future for the better. If you guys weren't around when mapmaker first came out, those were like the glory days. Like, oh my goodness, the popularity for Brawl Stars was insane. So I'll have to wait and see if anything happens to mapmaker. The only reason I'm questioning it just a little bit is the update before, the dev team wanted to add a power up to the game, much like, you know, star powers, gadgets and whatnot that could cost power points. And obviously that hadn't happened. They also predicted, I think a few updates ago, that they were going to have all the hypercharges made, which we're now, I think, like 2 updates past that prediction, and we still don't have all the hypercharges. So you can kind of see how it gets a little bit murky, but just going based off the prediction that the dev team have made, we could see some mapmaker stuff in this update, which is pretty dang hype. Roadmap's always so dang solid when it comes to predicting future updates, and not gonna lie, it's been a long time since I went on Frank's Twitter page and just looked at his replies to see what he's like talking about with people inside of the community. And bro, so many people have asked him when the next roadmap is going to be, to the point where I think he's just been doing this for a lot of people, just like reposting a post that he made for someone. But we have Frank responding to someone asking about the roadmap as well. I've posted somewhere else about this. We're likely doing something different this year. Timing is unclear right now, maybe late in November or even December to get a updated roadmap. Might be different, as Frank said, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. A lot of fun stuff to look forward to. Obviously, some of the implementations from the roadmap, like we just addressed, haven't been made yet, so I'm sure that's going to be priority if that's what they wanted to have added in 2025 and hasn't happened yet. But then a new roadmap in a few months. Pretty cool. But then finally, wrapping up this video here today, keeping along the same lines of what we've been talking the last couple of days, and that is what the next update is going to be. We are getting closer and closer, and I always love when Chosen makes this like prediction sheet over here on X, and a lot of the time I'm very closely aligned with Chosen in his predictions, so wanted to use this in a video. Once again, make sure to check out Chosen. I'll leave a link in the description down below to his Twitter page. Really informative Twitter channel, or Twitter account if you guys want to follow stuff. It's so funny when you take each Easter egg day by day, you kind of forget all the other stuff that has been like leaked in the past, right? But taking a look at it here, we have the new brawler hand. Very strong prediction inside of the community, seeing that it's popped up on 3 separate occasions. A lot of people thinking it's going to be a brawler fitting into the Juju family for one of the new brawlers coming out in the update. We have yellow predictions here, which is more than 50%. This is Chosen's like rubric for his predictions. We have 2 new brawlers. We have a Plants vs. Zombies collab, which we had discussed in a video here recently. I would give it like a less than 50, something like that % chance. I really got a feeling that person who made that artwork of Eve looking like the zombie from Plants vs. Zombies just had like a good meme worthy moment, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. One in which I completely forgot about, the Tiger Leon Pro Pass, new Pro Pass coming out, which looked really, really hyped. That was leaked quite a bit ago. Next Brawler Trio, don't know much about that. Mapmaker update we had just mentioned. New ability button that will cost power points. Like I said, the last update for the roadmap, they wanted to have that ability in the game, but that was before them predicting that the hypercharges would be done and all that, so I'm sure that's more of an importance to them to get done before this new ability. We have 4 more hypercharges to be added to the game, and then a few more things there that are getting more into like the WoW prediction camp, you know? Never even heard of a Pam rework. I don't even know where that's coming from. Maybe because she hasn't had her hypercharge and it's been like released for a while. I guess that could be a fun little theory. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff to look forward to here in this next update. Hopefully this one's a banger, dude. Really need some hype in Brawl Stars. I think that's something we can all agree on. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all, and we'll be talking super soon. Adios. Take care.